What's going on? It's your boy Bowie here again. And I got something a little bit different for y'all this time around because it's been a long time since I sat and recorded a video live. This right here is the remake, a fan-made remake of a classic Mortal Kombat game by the name of Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero. This is fan-created with all new animations. You'll see. Now, this is not a complete remake. They're in the process of, doing the game one stage at a time. Alright. So this is me, Sub-Zero here. My favorite Mortal Kombat character of all time. And so, before I get into the action, I want to explain some of the differences between this version and the one that came out all those years ago. So the original game came out on the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 1, and it was not in 3D like this. Sub-Zero in this game is rendered fully in 3D, as you can see. He runs very quickly, forwards and backwards, and that's significant because in the old game, you had to press a button to turn. And so, when people would jump over you and stuff like that, it'd be very difficult to attack them. But in this game, as soon as you press back, you turn the other way, which is very nice and seamless. So, but the game retains the same two-dimensional gameplay from the Mortal Kombat game. High punch, low kick, high kick. There's a run button. Now, so far there's no block button, so you can't block any attacks at all. In the original game you could. Now, I don't know if that's going to be added later, but I actually kind of like it, to be honest with you, because it forces you to play carefully. Now, of course, you're playing as Sub-Zero, or the main character Sub-Zero, so Sub-Zero has all his normal attacks, uppercut, low poke. But now what has happened is, because when you press back you turn a direction, things like down low kick are sweep, down high kick is roundhouse, which is a really brilliant change, because you don't really need low pokes, you don't really need back to do high roundhouses. Now, in addition to your regular attacks, of course, jump-ins and all that, you have special moves. So Sub-Zero has Ice Ball, and he can do it in the air. And I really think this is funny, being able to do this infinitely like this. It's kind of ridiculous, kind of OP, but it's cool. He also can slide, and they changed the input for slide. You gotta press both of the kick buttons simultaneously to get your slide, which is nice. Also, Sub-Zero has Ice Clone, and I can make infinite clones on the ground. It's actually really cool. I can do it in the air as well. And what's cool is I can go forward, backwards, doesn't matter. You see? It's really dope. And with those three moves, Sub-Zero's a powerhouse. So, let's actually get into some gameplay here. Ooh. Yes, sir. Okay. Oh! Couldn't even see that. Yeah, let me get some health. See? It's hard for me to see out here because I'm on the back porch. See that? These levels are designed exactly how they were in the original game. Punk. Punk. Yeah. And there's some really nice touches, such as the opponent staying on the ground after you knock them out, so you can teabag over their stupid bodies. You know. Let's go. Now he could hit me. Punk. Let's see if I can get back. Ooh. Haha. Did I freeze him? Oh, no. Alright, so I'm about to fight this boss. Scorpion. Haha. Come get me. Ooh. Oh no, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! See, he can juggle you infinitely. Look at that. I died just that quick. See, I was playing around, horsing around and all that, you know. Huh? What? Okay, that's mother. Oh. Oh! Let me get this damn health. Let's see if I can make this work. Alright. You so stupid? I'm gonna do the other end. What I like is the juggling possibilities. Oh, he's dead. Stupid. Punk ass. Damn, he died inside the damn... Oh. That's very weird that he died inside the altar here. But anyway. Now I can climb this rope. I think this is funny here. Watch it. Oh, snap. You know, I can jump on and still do things. That's so cool. But anyway. Yeah, as you can see, I'm horsing around here. Because I just enjoy the gameplay, you know. And mind you, this is the first level. There's this level and then a bonus level. I'll let this cutscene rock.
Grandmaster, in honor of the Lin Kuei, I bring you this sacred map of elements.
Once again, our most cunning assassin and thief is successful. At ease, Lin Kuei warrior.
Greetings. I see the ninja has been successful in retrieving my map, as I have foreseen.
Let's get something straight. I am not a ninja. I am Lin Kuei. Scorpion was a ninja.
Ah, yes, your Japanese counterpart. How unfortunate that you happened upon him in your battle with those pesky shadows.
Scorpion was tipped off. He knew I was breaking into that temple, and if he wasn't there, there wouldn't have been a battle. You are responsible for this sorcerer.
I've also retained Scorpion services. In case you failed, I needed some assurance.
Your peace of mind almost cost me this mission.
Enough! Quan Chi, tell me, what about our payment?
Oh yes, I almost forgot. The bones of your arch nemesis, and leader of Scorpion's ninja tribe.
Our ancient foes, vanquished in one transaction.
And I have personally made certain that every match running on their planet has been eliminated.
You see, Sub-Zero, you can trust a sorcerer sometimes. Now, you will use this map on your next mission. Quan Chi has once again retained your services.
This map is It shows the way to a temple which predates one's recorded history on Earth. For thousands of years, the Temple of Elements has been hidden in what is now known as Remake mythology. This map is the only hidden civilization.
I get to the temple, and then what? What's inside?
A small amulet, worthless to you, but let's just say it has great sentimental value to me.
If it is so precious, why don't you give it yourself?
I cannot enter the temple until the four elements within its walls have been defeated. And I am not on the best of terms with the gods of your realm, especially your god Thunder.
Tell me about these elements.
They are the four elements which comprise the very existence of your realm. They are earth, wind, water, and fire. With your mastery of the element of cold, you have an advantage that no other human has, and that is the ability to defeat the elements. I have foreseen this.
See, Nintendo 64 owners never got to see these cutscenes when they played this game. That was a PlayStation exclusive thing. So now you get to see this bonus level. So as you can see, nothing over there. But over here, oh, I messed up. That's gonna happen a lot. Me falling and dying. Oh no! Thank God I can skip the cutscene. Bruh! I did the clone. Okay. Oh God, here's the part right here. Jesus. Oh, that worked. Bruh. Ah! That actually worked. Bruh. Bruh. Okay. Punk. Yeah. So as you can, wow. Depth perception is something else, though. It's that part right here. See, now this was not in the original game. This is something that was created by the maker of this particular remake here. Oh! Oh, snap. Look at that. I don't look like a total noob. Yeah, so when you get to the back, you could tell a fan made this because they didn't spell congratulations correctly, but whatever. But yeah, so those are the two stages on this game. So now I get to talk a little, talk a little bit about what's going on in the world, because a lot of shit has happened since the last time, I was recording anything. So I'm gonna talk and shoot the breeze while I play this game. But yeah, so we have a new year. We are officially in 2021. we had an election, and against, oh shoot, against what I had perceived, Joe Biden won the presidency. He squeaked by and won the presidency. Oh snap. Literally, if he had gotten like 50,000 less votes in particular states, he would have lost. Democrats lost states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and all that good jazz. Hi, babe. I know, that's why I like it. Ooh. Yeah, Democrats had won states like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, Ohio and Georgia and stuff like that in 2016. But they won most of those states back, or Joe Biden won most of those states back. He won the state of Georgia, which is wild because that's not supposed to happen. Georgia's in the deep south, and most states in the deep south routinely vote red, period. But Stacey Abrams, who's a former candidate for governor of that state, she did a lot of diligent work to try to get folks, a lot of black people, registered after narrowly losing the governor's race for that state in 2018. She got a lot of black folks registered to vote, and since it was a Republican that cheated them out of their votes, obviously they all went and voted Democrat, and they turned that state around. And so, and then to make matters worse for the Republicans, Georgia turned right around and elected two Democratic senators, one of which is a black man by the name of Reverend Warnock. Bam! That's the real fatality. Look at that blood. Looks almost ray traced. But yeah. So the people in Georgia not only voted Democrat in the election, they turned around and elected two Democratic senators to the Congress. And now, because of that, there are exactly 50 Democratic senators and 50 Republican senators. And so that means that anytime the Democrats want to pass some legislation, it's going to happen in the House regardless, because they have the majority there. But it also means that if they send a bill to the Senate, chances are they're going to be able to get that thing passed too, because there's 50 Democrats, and the tiebreaker is Biden's vice president, Kamala Harris. Now, I did a video on the both of them about a year ago titled "I'm Not Riding with Biden," and I meant every damn word that I said in that video back then, and I mean it today. I'm still not riding with them fools. They have both demonstrated that they serve the corporate interests. They've demonstrated this repeatedly. And I'm not a fool to think that suddenly they change their minds just because they're in the White House. So I don't have my blinders on for a second like the majority of the country does. I mean, because them two fools were on Time Magazine as Person of the Year. They've had all kind of puff pieces written about them in these various magazines. It's actually quite pathetic the way that the media is like pandering to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris when they didn't do any such thing to Trump. Not to say that Trump deserved to be pandered to, because he didn't. He was an asshole. And people were righteously righteously and justifiably disgusted by him. But I'm just saying, oh god damn, that's terrible. I'm just saying, if you're going to be adversarial to one president, you got to do the exact same thing to the next president too. Because otherwise you look like you're being partisan. And that's exactly what's going on. The media is looking like a Democratic partisan mouthpiece. Because they're letting Joe Biden get away with telling massive lies and breaking his promises and stuff like that. And they don't hold him accountable the way that they held Trump accountable. The reality is the media should be holding all presidents accountable. It should be adversarial to all politicians, no matter what side of the aisle they're on. But they pick and choose who they want to be nice to and who they don't. And that's what, you know, a lot of the Trump supporters don't like. What if I let him live? Is he gonna fall? Oh, he did. I didn't kill him. Okay, good. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, if you're gonna be adversarial to one party, you got to do it to both of them. And that would be true no matter who was in charge. But I referred to Biden breaking promises earlier, and you might not know what I'm talking about. So one of the things that Biden campaigned on, well, let me back up. To win those Democratic senators races in Georgia, the two Democrats promised Americans $2,000 COVID stimulus checks. They said $2,000 checks was their exact wording. Joe Biden went and campaigned for them and told Georgians that, you know, the fate of the country was in their hands. Because, you know, if you vote for the two Democratic senators, you guys will get $2,000 checks. They said that in no unclear terms. You know what I'm saying? And the two Democratic senators put this on their social media and everything. You know what I'm saying? So newsflash, or fast forward, you know, people, of course, vote those Democratic senators in office because they're like, bruh, we deserve $2,000 COVID checks. We out here starving. Donald Trump, in the year that COVID has been a thing, gave Americans a grand total of $1,800 over a 9-month period. You know what I'm saying? And so the prospect of Joe Biden offering $2,000 checks is very attractive. And it's the right thing to do. So Joe Biden gets in office and suddenly he's pivoting. Now he's saying, well, since Americans already got 600, we're going to put that we're going to put $1,400 with the 600 to make the $2,000 checks. But that's not what you said. You said $2,000 checks, making it sound like that in addition to the 600 that Trump just gave Americans, he's going to do 2,000. I wasn't crazy, and millions of other people weren't crazy when they heard that. That's a logical conclusion to arrive at, is that you're going to give people a check with $2,000 per household. But now they're pivoting to $1,400. Of course, on Facebook, I said, Oh, so $600 Trump money plus $1,400 Biden money equals 2,000 checks, huh? That's the new math? I just think that's pathetic. Me and a lot of other Americans feel rightfully cheated. Damn. But so yeah, it's gonna be $1,400. And one of the other things that they said about these checks is that they would be sent out immediately. That was in January, early January. Those checks aren't going to be coming out until March, mid-March. So I guess 2 months is the definition of immediate in Washington circles. And this is having a negative effect on voter attitudes, because they did a poll of Democratic voters in Georgia, and a lot of them said that they were very unhappy. They feel lied to and cheated because they were told that they were going to get $2,000 checks, and you have people that campaigned for the Democrats telling people that they were going to get $2,000 checks, and of course that's not happening. Oh Lord. And I don't blame people for feeling cheated. They were cheated. You know, they were cheated out of something that they were promised. I mean, it'd be one thing if you didn't promise people anything and then you don't deliver on something you never promised to begin with, you know. But you basically promised to give them $2,000 if they voted a particular way. They went and voted that particular way. They gave you exactly what you wanted, and you're not going to deliver on what you promised them. Or you're going to sit here and play semantics with your words and say, well, yeah, when we said 2,000, we really meant this. Bitch, you should have said that from the rip then. You could have said a total of $2,000. We will give you specifically $1,400 plus the $600 that Trump already gave you. You could have said that. You know, but they didn't do it. And the media's not saying anything about it. And that's the part that kills me, because if Trump had done any of this, they'd be all over him, rightfully so. But now that Joe Biden's doing it, they don't give a good damn. And a lot of the same voters that have a billion hateful things to say about Trump, again, rightfully so, because of his shitty attitude, they ain't saying nothing about Biden when he comes up with his horse shit. And I'm like, bro, you can't have it both ways. But yeah, so the media's been doing that. What else has happened? Also, there's been so much bullshit that has happened. So, on January 6th, a bunch of pissed off Trump supporters all gathered in Washington, D.C. They had a rally, had a Trump speech, And after that rally, they walked to the Capitol by the thousands, tens of thousands, and they actually breached the inside of the Capitol building. They did property damage, they scaled walls, they attacked and killed Capitol police officers. They had planned on capturing and hanging Mike Pence, as well as Democratic congressmen and women. And they did this because they wanted to reverse the results of the election and reinstall Donald Trump as president. This was in their own words. They recorded so much video of the event through their phones, and there were reporters there, and some of the reporters got attacked. It was wild. I'd never seen anything like it. What's worse is these people were encouraged to do this by Republican senators. And as a matter of fact, Republicans in Congress, some of them, tweeted out the locations of their Democratic co-workers so that these people could find them and do harm to them. Yeah. And they did this on January 6th, which is the day that Congress was set to certify the Electoral College results, which all gave Joe Biden the victory. 306 electoral votes to like 220 something for Trump. I don't remember what the number was. I think it was 226. Oh shit. Stop! And they did this in order, like I say, they did this because they thought they would interrupt the process and reverse it, because for weeks and weeks they were fed the lie by Donald Trump himself that the election was rigged and was stolen. Joe Biden didn't actually win the election. This is what he told them. And he went and repeated that lie 1 billion times. Even though Fox News called the election for Trump, every media network called the election, I didn't say call it for Trump, they called it for Biden, is what I meant to say. They called this election for Biden basically the night of. And while I'm here, let me talk about the election real quick. So basically all before this, Donald Trump had been trying to delegitimize the election from the rip. He told his voters not to vote by mail, vote in person, because, you know, if they voted by mail, their votes wouldn't be counted, which is a lie. They tried to use the precipice of voter fraud in order to try to preemptively delegitimize the election before it even happened. Again, this is all before the election. Trump's out here feeding these lies, giving them the ammo already ahead of time. And so on election day, basically all of the mail-in votes that states sent in were all for Joe Biden, because Trump's people did not want to vote by mail because of Trump. But because mail-in votes take longer to count, they weren't counted on the first day of the election, or, you know, first night, I should say. So what happened was, on election night, it looked like Trump was ahead in all these various states. Looked like he was winning because the hand votes were all counted first, while the mail-in votes were not counted as of that yet. As of that night, I should say. So then over the course of some days, as these mail-in votes are being counted, a lot of these red states are turning blue. Of course, this feeds right into the fears that these Trump voters have had this whole time. And the fear based on the lie that Trump told them that this thing was going to be rigged. And when those votes came in, obviously they were pissed. Now, all these states have counted and recounted their votes several times. For example, I know that Georgia counted their votes 3 times, including once by hand, and they all certified Joe Biden as the winner. All of them. These numbers are completely legitimate. You know, Trump's own head of cybersecurity, Christopher Krebs, came out very early on and said this is the most secure election in American history. This is a guy hired by the Trump administration that said this. I don't see why he got to lie about the integrity of his own election that he oversaw. Get the hell out of here. He ain't gotta lie. You know. And for that, Trump supporters have basically canceled him and cut him off, and I'm sure folks have threatened his family and all this crazy stuff, you know. All that. There's, you know, and of course Trump has spread the lie that there was widespread election fraud. He said that the voting machines by this company called Dominion basically took Trump votes and flipped them to Biden. All this shit ain't got no evidence, of course. There's no evidence to support any of this. And even Fox News got to the point where they couldn't cover up for him and repeat these lies anymore either. Yeah, here we go. And it got to the point where the company Dominion is now suing Fox News for spreading this lie and besmirching their name and all this crazy stuff. And they sent out a cease and desist letter to Fox News and this other so-called news company known as Newsmax. Wild. So amidst the fallout of all that stuff, we still have a broad plurality of Trump-supporting Republican voters that still repeat this idea that the election was subject to widespread election fraud. Grown-ass people with careers, co-workers, and all that, jobs and bills and all this stuff, that believe that the election was stolen from Donald Trump. Many of whom I've had Facebook arguments with about this. And it's pretty pitiful, to be honest with you. They want to believe in this victimhood of Donald Trump so bad. The poor millionaire, poor celebrity millionaire, all he wanted to do was help the country, and everyone wants to lie on him and not appreciate him. Like, that's the narrative that they've come up with. Donald Trump is the victim in their minds. And it's like, bro. Better get your ass back. Yeah, so we had that going on. That was January, and we're still in February. It's February 20th right now. So we are literally 2 months into 2021, and we've already had some crazy shit. And I ain't even done, because there was a big snowstorm in the state of Texas. Because there's a big old cold front that swept the country. Of course, Florida was completely unaffected by this, because we don't believe in snow fronts. We don't believe in cold fronts or snowstorms or nothing. But Texas was hit with this giant snowstorm, and they got 4 inches of snow in Texas, like the whole freaking state. And this is significant because Texas is the only state that has its own independent power grid. Like, they don't have a power grid that's connected to the same power grid that the rest of the country is using. Their power grid was privatized. And that's significant because when you have private companies creating something, they wanted to avoid government regulation. That's literally the reason why the power grid was, privatized, to avoid regulation at the hands of the government. And by doing so, they cut corners. Because now, in the midst of this insane and unforeseen snowstorm, these guys decide they're going to shut off people's power in the midst of extreme cold weather. And so you had a whole bunch of, millions of Texans that are freezing, and they ain't got no heat, no electricity. And the Republicans sit there, and they know how this looks. They know it looks like their market-centric ideas of letting the free market control everything and regulation is evil, has led to widespread suffering throughout an entire state. Now, one of the senators, Ted Cruz of Texas, during the midst of this snowstorm, instead of trying to help his constituents by getting them supplies and warmth and stuff like that, this guy books a trip for him and his family to go to Cancun. And of course, this makes major news, makes him look like a grade A asshole, which he is. He's a grade A asshole. The senator's name is Ted Cruz. He's a fucking rat. Ridiculous. And so he goes and does this, and at first he blames his daughters, trying to say, oh yeah, my daughters wanted me to go on this trip with them, and I had to be a good father and go on this trip with them, blah 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 blah. And he actually apologized, trying to say, well, if in hindsight I wouldn't have done that. Well, now it's come out that his wife sent group messages to several of their friends trying to invite them all to go to Cancun because of the cold weather. She specifically states that because of this extreme cold weather we're having in Texas, we're going to go to Cancun. So it directly blows up this idea of the daughters being incidentally responsible for their father abandoning his constituents during one of their most, toughest times of need. And so, as you can imagine, Ted Cruz is getting a shellacking by the media because of this, which he deserves. He deserves that, because he's a liar, and his policy ideas are super whack. Oh, shoot. And, it's actually really funny to me. It's very, very funny to me because, it's like this pandemic has demonstrated beyond a shadow of a doubt that a lot of these Republican ideas that they've prided their whole ideology on do not work in real life. The hell? Oh, Lord. It turns out that when you deregulate things, and companies don't have to abide by federal safety standards, it has a horrifically bad effect on regular working people. And that doesn't mean that the federal government gets it right all the time, because they don't. But safety standards are there for a reason. Jesus. I should have kept freezing. Damn. They're there not because the government just wants to be controlling people's lives necessarily, but because it has a role to ensure the safety of its citizens. The government has that role. That's one of the primary and basic functions of government, is to ensure the safety of its citizens in ways that they can't already do, such as in a natural disaster. You have a natural disaster and everything's wiped out. The federal government is supposed to, try to get you aid, make sure you have what you need to get back on your feet. And it's not supposed to make distinctions between Republican and Democratic states, because that literally doesn't matter. But when Trump was president, he made those kinds of stupid ass distinctions. Like, he would literally withhold federal aid from states that didn't vote for him in the election, or states that had Democratic governors. Playing partisan ass politics, you know what I'm saying? And that's a dangerous ass precedent. It really, really is. Say what you want, that's just not the way things should work. Because if you have a major natural disaster that happens somewhere, it shouldn't matter who the people voted for in an election. The fact at the end of the day is they're supposed to be Americans, And as the president of the United States of America and Americans, you are supposed to assist them. That is literally your job. You are a public servant serving the public. Who is the public? The people. If you don't like people, and if you don't like certain sections of the public, your ass don't need to be in public service. And it don't matter if that's government, police work, teaching, firefighting. I don't give a damn what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, now we're, the country is talking about what happened in Texas and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so as you can see, it's been a very busy 2021. Very, very busy. And it done just got started. It has just gotten started. Oh, I should probably show y'all what happens when I actually abide by these directions. So, I can actually play as another character. So this is Ermac. As you can see, he's not Sub-Zero. He does not have an ice ball. And I can't shoot my projectile in the air, though I can teleport. This is cool. Oh shoot. Shit. I don't like playing as Ermac as much as I like Sub-Zero, obviously, because Sub-Zero has a stun, and he can stop people from attacking him. But, Ermac's pretty cool, too. So, his three moves are projectile. He has a teleport punch, forwards and backwards, and then he has this lift that he can perform. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, shit. Oh, yeet. That's so cool. But yeah, we done just got started with this year, and it's already very busy. And of course, there's been some notable deaths of certain things. Oh shit! Oh, oh, that's so damn cool. But dude. I just continue to, oh god, Scorpion might kill me. Jesus, help me. I've never fought Scorpion with Ermac before. So you don't have a block button. You gotta do lame things like run away. Fall back, fall back. That thing does a lot of damage now. Ooh. Ooh. Lit. I forgot his damn combo. I think it's... Oh, it's... Yeah, punch, punch, low, low. Okay, I remember. Yeah. Oh! Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Stop. Ooh. Damn. I probably could have turned around and kicked him. Damn. Better fall back. Yeah, I'm practicing how to fight Scorpion. Ow. Punk. So, you know, people might wonder why I talk so much about politics and current events. Well, you know, it's important to me that I document moments in time. You know, not necessarily as they're happening, because I don't want my, you know, videos to be too reactionary. But I want it to be, I want my stuff to mark time, because memories are not, it's good to have memories and all that, but memories are not reliable. Because even throughout the course of this video, I had to stop and pause and think and try to recall exactly what happened, you know, at certain points in the year. And if I'm having to stop and remember all that, and these are fresh memories of events that just happened, what do you think occurs when the memory's not fresh? Shit. Punk. Haha! I did it with Ermac. But, you know, to me it's vital to have a record of what the hell has been going on in a particular year, because it's easy to forget, especially as the stuff is happening. You know, we're living the day-to-day realities of it all, and you know, we all gotta go to work and do all the stuff, and the pandemic is still happening, so we're all still masked up and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these things are still in play here, because, you know, the pandemic is still not over. Oh my god, I've never done that. Oh, that's so dope. Oh no, Jesus! Damn it. I don't know why the Sub-Zero died. It's Ermac that fell. No, Jesus! Oh shit. But you know. Wow. Can I make it to one of those other ones? Oh, jeez! I probably could if I time it right. Oh, shit. Oh, damn! That's lit! Oh, that's fire, bruh. That's mad fire, bruh. Oh, my God. Alright, let me stop moving. Stop playing around like that. Bruh. 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 But yeah, like I say, it's important to mark these moments in time, because I'm not going to sit here and rely on history books to tell me people's attitudes about certain events as they were happening. Not when I could tell you, my own personal perception of it and give you the perspective. What? Give you the perspective on it, coming from a regular person as the stuff is happening. Oh my God. Oh shit. So far, President Biden has been exactly who I thought he would be. Oh my God, I didn't know I was gonna go that far. Jesus Christ. I thought that he would be a corporate shill that is promising a bunch of nothing and deciding to not give Americans the things that they want the most. And my point is being proven correct, especially on the issue of student loans. Biden did a town hall, and a woman laid the case out for why student loans need to be forgiven. And she asked him straight up if he was going to make it happen. He told her no. Right there on the damn town hall. I mean, I appreciate the honesty. He said, I will not make that happen. Saying that he's not going to forgive student loan debt. And I'm looking at him like, you must want the Democrats to lose in 2024. Because the feeling is this. Biden barely beat Trump in the election. Barely. He barely beat someone who's a certified racist and a gross bag of incompetence. Because Trump bungled the coronavirus response bad. He downplayed it. He lied about it. And 400,000 Americans died due to coronavirus. Many of those deaths could have been preventable had they been social distancing, had they been wearing masks like they were supposed to. Trump actively encouraged people not to do those things when he should have encouraged them to do it. And by doing that, he could have saved thousands of lives. Furthermore, the U.S. mail was going to mail every working American 10 masks. Trump blocked that process. He blocked it. And Biden barely beat him. And so I bring all that up because if Biden wants a snowball's chance in hell at winning the presidency again, he and the Democrats have to deliver big. Because people only vote Republican when they see that the Democrats lie about representing the regular people and helping them. That's one of the main reasons people vote Republican, because the Democrats screwed them over. And so, if the Democrats keep being hell-bent on denying people basic shit that they actually want, they best be prepared to lose elections. I did not vote for the Democrats this election, nor did I vote for the Republicans. I voted third party. And every day, I thank my lucky stars that I did that, because I would have hated to have voted for Biden, hoping for shit to get better, and then be getting a plate load of shit. You know. But that's just my 2 cents. But anyway, I've talked long enough. Y'all have seen this marvelous game, Mortal Kombat Mythologies, the remake. Shout out to the creator of this game. This one guy animating all this stuff. And so, shout out to him. I hope WB/NRS doesn't shut this project down. I hope it keeps going. And should it keep going, I will be playing it some more and uploading more videos just like this. So, I'll catch y'all later. 1.